I love you. Oh, welcome back to the Couch Potatoes. We have a very, very exciting episode for you today. I've been waiting 2 months. I've been brewing like a little volcano ready to explode for this one. And I'm going to explode all over you. It's going to be nice. Oh. It's going to be lovely. I'm going to rain my ketchup all upon you potatoes. I'm the Green Traveler from Gorsh.
And I am the face of Sleon. And we're here. Yes, we're very excited to talk about what we're going to talk about today. But I think we both have something we want to talk about first.
Yeah,
yeah.
We do.
So firstly, I just got to talk about my day. It's been a day. So woke up.
It's been a doozy of a day.
Woke up, all fine and dandy. I'm just happy it wasn't yesterday because
that's fair.
I had a really busy work day yesterday, and because of that busy work day, that day, we really don't have that much going on. So, driving Sarah, my wife, to work, and then the oil light on the car comes on. I was like, oh, damn. Well, I'll try to get it to the place that I usually go to, which is like right down the road. And as I pull into their place, the engine light comes on as well. And I'm like, oh
no.
Oh, great. So it's sitting there, and I don't even get to talk to them because it's 7 o'clock in the morning. They don't open till 8. And I fill out their little envelope thing and get an appointment online and whatever, and get the Lyft driver home and whatever. Decide to mow the lawn, and I also mow the neighbor's lawn as well. And
because you're a good guy.
Because I'm a good guy, and I'm really behind on it. So I was trying to do both yards at once. So I got like one strip around the entirety of both of our yards, almost. And the lawnmower broke down.
No.
So, like, not only did I, like, not go to work because I wanted to be able to hear about the car or whatever.
Right.
And I also couldn't mow the lawn, which I really needed to do. It's pretty bad. I did find out that it's a pretty easy fix, but it took me a minute. I'm not like a mechanic or anything, and I'm not super intimate with my lawnmower. Basically, I found out that it threw the belt, but it just took me way too long to figure that out. I felt kind of stupid.
Yeah.
But also, then the mechanic calls, and they're like, hey, this isn't good.
Oh,
no.
And,
well, it might be a simple thing, but we can't do it, because it's a foreign vehicle. I drive a Volkswagen. And they said, so you're going to have to take it to the dealership or to this one guy that works on foreign cars at our town. And I call him, and he's like, it's going to be this much just for us to look at it. And then this much an hour for each hour we spend on it. And I can tell you, if we have to get inside the engine, which the code said that they did, it would be at least a couple hours. So, yeah, basically I'm like, oh, well, I guess I give up on the Volkswagen now, which, that was nice while it lasted. Still have this other car that honestly had a pretty simple fix, and I just let it sit there. So tomorrow, because they closed before I could get it done, the tow trucks are going to swap the vehicles that are in my driveway and at the shop, and they're going to fix the other car because it should be hopefully simpler to fix.
I'm so sorry, buddy.
Yeah, it is sad. It is a sad day. And I still have to fix the lawnmower, but at least I know how to fix that.
Well, you know what? Let's use that. Should we use that sob story to just go ahead and say, if you want to help us out financially, you can head on down to patreon.com/green and faceless. You can check out our tiers. You can help us out with our cars.
Oh, yes.
I'm sure mine's about to kick the bucket soon.
Oh, my God.
I've been having too long of good luck with my car. It's been a stream of a few months without issues.
Excuse me, you got it pretty fresh.
That is, it's only a decade old. It's still a young buck.
Yeah.
It's only passed 100,000 miles recently. Like, it's got hopefully a long life.
I bet you got at least another 60,000, because that's where both of my cars are at, and they break down every month.
Yeah, I think mine's gonna catch fire. I'm gonna get up to 80 miles an hour driving up to Michigan, and it's just gonna go, and I'll be like, "Fuck!"
Well, do you check the oil?
I mean, yeah, I do the things I'm supposed to, but only when I remember them.
Oh.
Only when I remember them.
Yeah.
Which is typically about a month after I'm supposed to.
Yeah, same here. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a car individual. There was a long time of my life where I just had to come to terms that it's just like, you know what? I don't know cars. I don't care about cars, and it's okay.
And that's okay.
I don't have to.
Yeah, I kind of.
I know enough to like change a tire. I can do all the essentials for like basic road survival.
Right. I know how to turn a wrench, and if I really, really worked at it, I could probably figure it out. But I don't want to. And it's not just that I don't want to; it's that I don't want to do it wrong, and I will.
Right.
I will.
Yeah, exactly. That's where it's at. Is like I know my mechanic skills are in the tank, so like it's down. It's not good. And preferably, if as long as I'm not like out in the middle of nowhere, I'll have YouTube.
Yeah.
And YouTube has pretty much fucking everything.
Yeah, they do. So I try to keep a good toolkit in my car. I recommend everybody do that, even if you don't know what to do with it.
Same.
Because, like you said, we have the resources of the 21st century.
Yeah. And when it's wintertime, keep some kitty litter in there. It's very helpful.
Yeah. Or, salt if you don't have a cat.
Or salt. Yeah, it's true. Something heavy and gritty. It's what you need.
That's what you need.
But that's been mechanic tips with Greenie and Faceless
and face smear.
Face smear. Well, let's try to let me try to lift the spirits. Let me go into a little bit of green ketchup. You can't have your potatoes without your ketchup. So let me just squirt some all over y'all. I went to see another movie in the theaters this weekend, and I was very excited for this movie. Looking at all the movies that are coming out this year, this was the one I was most excited for. I'll be honest. And I will say up front that I actually like the movie we're going to talk about today more. Oh. I like the Batman more than I like the Northman. But that doesn't mean I did not like the Northman, because I fucking loved the Northman. It was so fun. It's Robert Eggers. He's one of my favorite directors working today. He did The Lighthouse. He did The Witch. He brings back pretty much all the important people that he worked with in both of those movies into this one, along with Alexander Skarsgård, the titular character, the Northman. The story is based off of the original. I don't know which Norse country it was, but it was off of the original tale that Hamlet is based on. Okay. So it's the story of Prince Amleth. And it follows pretty much the same structure as Hamlet. If you know Hamlet, you're going to pretty much kind of know the story going in. But it doesn't ruin it in any way. It's very exciting to watch this movie because it's very gritty. It's very real. There's a shot at the very beginning where there's like a Viking raid. I don't know if they're actually Vikings, so that might be wrong. And our friend Ronvold the Skull is probably kicking me right now. He's like, "How dare you call them Vikings?" But no, the Northmen. Him and where Amleth, Alexander Skarsgård character, is at that time. That the crew that he's running with, they're doing a raid on this little village. And as they're coming upon it, it's a very foggy morning. It's fog's rolling in everywhere. And you see the wall of the village rise up out of the fog. And on the wall, you see some people up there. And they're very far away. They're still a good many feet away. But you see somebody on the wall yell like, something along the lines of like, "I see them. They're coming out of the fog. We're about to be attacked."
Oh, boy.
And, oh, Jesus. And then this long spear comes flying out from the wall at Alexander Skarsgård. This is one long take. They haven't cut yet, and it's just been the crew coming up the fog up to the wall, and this giant spear comes flying, and Alexander steps up, grabs the sphere mid-flight, spins around at the full 360, and hurls it right back at the fucking wall. It's an amazing shot. It was so cool.
Come on, Tarzan.
And it happened so fast that I don't think my audience, like the people I was watching it with, really understood how fucking awesome of a shot that was, because nobody reacted but me. I was just like, what the fuck? And everybody else was like, yeah. And I'm just like, no, that was awesome.
Quick tangent. Did that Tarzan movie not make enough money to have a sequel?
I have no idea. I did not watch it.
You didn't watch it?
And I feel like if I didn't watch it, that means a lot of other people didn't watch it either.
Well, I saw it. It was a little bit white savior, but also he's a monkey guy.
Yeah. And I'm happy you mentioned that, because that's kind of an issue with it. It's not white savior issue, but it is a very masculine film. Gotcha. And I'm seeing a lot of people reacting the same way with how they reacted with The Lighthouse, where they're like, I hate it, too much toxic masculinity, it's just, it's disgusting, it's whatever. And whenever I hear those people complain about The Lighthouse, and now I'm hearing some people complain about The Northman for the same reason, I want to smack them. Because it's like, you clearly did not watch this movie. Because if you did, you would understand that the message of The Lighthouse is how toxic masculinity is a nightmare.
Yeah, it's the horror of toxic masculinity.
Yeah, he's not glorifying it in any way. He is showing you what happens when two men are stuck together and they have clashing morals or just beliefs in general. Right. They're going to fight, they're going to get drunk, they might kiss, and then they're going to try to kill each other. And that's just what's going to happen. And it's just like, he's not glorifying it, he's showing it. It's part of the story, it's part of the message. And it's the same thing with with the tragedy of the Northmen, the tragedy of Hamlet.
Right.
Is, it's
his tragic flaw is pride. I haven't seen it. But it every tragic hero has a flaw. I couldn't really tell you what my thesis on what Hamlet's might be. But it sounds like, with toxic masculinity, you could easily chalk it up to pride.
Yeah. And this movie is very machismo. Yeah. It's got a lot of machismo in it, or whatever that word is. It's, there is I know there's a scene where Alexander Skarsgård is wearing a shirt, but I don't remember those scenes. He is almost always naked, or close to being naked. He's I don't think you ever see the tallywhacker, I'll be honest, but you do get to see. Okay, so Anya Taylor-Joy is in it too, and that's another easy draw for me, because I fucking love Anya Taylor-Joy. I think she's so beautiful, and you do get to see a lot of. Because she's playing, I think they call her a witch. She's supposed to be like a Slavic witch. But it's more, I think it feels more natural, not like magic power, but more maybe
a medicine worker or something.
Yeah, kind of. But I do think there is something else in there. I do think there is some kind of sorcery or whatever, but you don't really see a lot of it. I don't know. She just does an amazing job. She has moments where she's speaking in old, I don't know if it would be Old English or if it would be some form of Norse language. But she has moments, and I know Robert Eggers wanted to do this movie all in that language. I think because that's what that's what he's done. He does these period pieces and tries to do it in the right vernacular, in the right because the witch is all in, what is it, puritanical? Was it puritanical English?
Well, I think
Victorian?
OP original pronunciation is probably more what they were going for.
Yeah. But like I can almost guarantee that he wanted to do this whole movie in that language because he's just like, well, they wouldn't have been speaking English, and they're like, no, that would cost way too much money to get this all translated properly and everything. Yeah. He does use a lot of runes, which is very exciting. Cool. There's a lot of the title cards are all on runes. But no, I fucking love this movie. It was a lot of fun. I can't wait to see it streaming, and I highly recommend people go out and watch it. But the thing is, it's artsy. You know, if you've seen The Lighthouse, you're gonna know kind of what you're gonna expect with this, because like Robert Eggers' style, it's all still there. Yeah. Like, he goes from horror to historical epic flawlessly without changing his style at all. Wow. And it's amazing. But I know people are gonna walk into it and be and like leave thinking that was too artsy. It was stupid. It's like, you know, okay, it's kind of, it has like,
go to these movies. Like you can tell by the trailers of these movies,
right? But I don't know. I do want people to go to them. I just want them to understand that, you know, not everything has to be flashy action Marvel film. You know, it's sometimes you're gonna get these beautiful visions that are more metaphorical, more atmospherical, and I don't know, it was a lot of fun, and I understand where people are coming at it with like, it's too machismo, but at the same time I'm like, that's kind of the tragedy of it, is like the choices that his character makes, he makes because he is a man, he is defending man's honor. You know, it's a revenge story. If you don't know the story of Hamlet, his father's killed and he's trying to avenge his father's murder. I'll leave it there. If you don't know anything about it, you know, it's exciting to watch, but I mean, it's my favorite tragedy. So seeing the original version of it was really fascinating.
I had somebody yesterday when I was wearing my King Lear shirt say, "Oh, I fucking hate King Lear." I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, I don't think there's anything in that show." And the only thing I could think of is nothing comes from nothing.
Honestly, I think I've only seen King Lear once, and it was because you were in it once, right?
Yeah, I played the Duke of Cornwall.
Okay, right? Because I remember watching. Yeah, that's the only time I've ever seen.
Oh, really?
It. I don't think I've ever seen like a big budgeted production of it or anything.
Well,
like,
if you want to see a real good one, Ian McKellen is on tape somewhere playing King Lear.
That sounds exciting.
I may be remembering wrong, but I think Sylvester McCoy might play the Fool. Yeah.
Ooh, Doctor Who. Well, no, I think that's really it for my gushing of the Northman. I'm ready to talk
Batman.
The Batman.
We also got a secret review of Tarzan.
Yeah, from you, because I haven't seen
it. The Batman. So, I guess we have to start with like a general synopsis. That's what we usually do. But I really talk about gadgets and stuff.
I do want to say up front with the Batman, before we dive in here, because this is a deep dive, ladies and gentlemen. We're only talking the Batman for the next hour, probably. So I want people to know, going in, that there will be spoilers. We will try to keep the big spoilers, the big reveals, the big plot details and everything. We'll try to keep that still under wraps, and we'll put up a spoiler wall near the end so we can discuss deeper things. But, like, if you don't know cast list, if you don't want to know anything, you're in the wrong episode. Like, if you don't want to know some of the cameos we're going to talk, you're in the wrong episode. We're going to be deep diving into the Batman. So why don't you hit pause and come back here 3 hours later after you've watched this fucking long movie?
Hey, though, it is worth it. And you know what? If you don't mind being a little bit spoiled, just stick around and you'll discover, hey, maybe this is a cool movie, and you'll go watch it. At least that's my hope.
Yeah, because okay, I watched it in theaters way back in February.
I wish I could.
It was one of the... it was a lot of fun, and I remember, like, I'm going to talk the theater experience a lot as we go through this, because there are moments in this movie that were great in the theaters. Mainly because of watching it with people again. You know, getting other people's reaction to it. There's some jokes that were just absolutely hilarious to see everyone else around me understand the joke. Because it's just like, there's one in general, and I'll talk when we get there. But just seeing it in theaters was a lot of fun. And then I had to wait for like 2 fucking months to talk to anybody about it, because Ronvald had watched it, which is nice. But, you know, a lot of the people I worked with, a lot of my friends, my brother went and saw it. But yeah, I'm sorry. I understand. I really get it. I do. It's just, I wish they had streamed this from the get-go, but I'm glad they didn't, because it made a crap ton of money. And that means Matt Reeves, the director and writer, can continue his vision for what I assume is 3 movies. And I'll also talk what I think his next 2 are going to be.
This project, it could have been Batfleck, but we got Batpat.
It almost was.
We got Batpat, and I'm happy for it. I think he really works. I didn't think that I'd like it, but like, considering that he is a younger Bruce in this, it kind of feels like
very emo Bruce.
Very emo Bruce. But like, that's also like all part of his journey in this. Is getting past that a little bit.
Yeah, I'm very excited for the future of this franchise, because I don't know. So this movie takes a lot of inspiration from some of my favorite Batman comics, specifically from The Long Halloween by I'm gonna just go over here and look. I think it's Jeff Loeb, but it's on my shelf. Let me give you a second. Sorry, Zelda. Oopsie daisy, we had a bit of a technical difficulty when I was going over to my comic book shelf.
Well, hopefully I sound better now. We'll see how that turns out. But the Batman, you had something at your comic book shelf about the Batman.
Yeah, I was saying this movie takes inspiration from one of my favorite comic books of all time, which is The Long Halloween by Jeff Loeb, and Tim Sale is the artist. Beautiful story. Takes course over like a whole year as Batman's trying to solve this very noir-esque detective or mystery. I mean, it's like a very detective-heavy Batman. Mm-hmm. You know, he's doing a lot of research. It's beautiful. And that's like the entire inspiration for this film is like noir-esque Batman. You know, it has a very heavy atmosphere. It's very like gritty and gray, and you know, actors they're not like acting. They're acting like you would expect in like a noir mystery, like from, you know, way back in the Hitchcock days. It has a little bit of that kind of like Maltese Falcon feel. You know, it's wonderful. Like I fucking, this is what I've been kind of wanting from Batman for a long time, was more detective, less action. And that's what we fucking got. I was so excited.
Like the Nolan movies, there was a lot, they kind of focused on the ninjutsu part of it, but it was still great. But then they just went more big heavy hitter for the Batfleck days. And it's just like, okay, but Batman's real smart.
Yeah.
Why can't we just be real smart?
Yeah, and with I don't want to insult Zack Snyder, but like the Snyder films don't feel like there's much of a character there. It's more of just a tragedy. You know, it's just like, this character is sad. Be sad. You know, it's I
want friends.
Yeah, and I don't know, it's very kind of just bland storytelling. Like, I'm sorry, Zack Snyder is a great person, but like the Snyderverse of the DCEU.
Okay.
The Snyder Cut was better. I agree wholeheartedly with that, but like the Snyder universe, the whole DC Comics cinematic universe right now, I just don't care. I'm not invested in any of that.
Reboot it with this. Please.
Yeah, seriously. Reboot it with the Batman.
I think the problem that they had was like, they're trying to compete with Marvel for whatever god awful reason. And,
right.
Marvel has like this big plan, or they have big plans that they push in small doses. I'm sure it evolves as it go. I think what DC's plan is that they try to go for that model like as fast as they could. But what they really should have done was make a good movie. And if it's good, make another movie and just build off the story from those movies. Like,
for real.
Yeah, it's so much easier that way. It has to be. To build off of what you have already. Instead of just like, this is what we want to do, so we got to do this, this, and this first. It's got to be easier.
And another thing that they have to do is let the artist create.
Like,
don't step in. Don't Suicide Squad the fuck out of the movie. Like, don't go in there and then cut it all to bits and, run a crap ton of test audiences. And, Suicide Squad is just, it's awful. Because, not the Suicide Squad. James Gunn's The Suicide Squad is fun. But the original one, the David Ayers, it's just a bunch of production company, the producers got in there and were like, no. And they just cut up this vision. And like, I don't know if David Ayer has his own cut of the film. Like, I don't know if there is a release the David Ayer cut or whatever. But like, it doesn't feel like there's much of an artist vision there. It just seems like a bunch of test audience produced bullshit. Whereas the Batman feels like a realized vision. Like Matt Reeves, I love this guy. He is he did, what are the last two Planet of the Apes films that just came out? It's not Rise of the Planet of the Apes, it's War of the Planet of the Apes and Dawn. Yeah, those two. Yeah, he did those two. I don't remember which order they're in. I think it's Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and then War for the Planet of the Apes, something like that.
Secret Review. Get better titles.
Yeah. No, okay, I don't know. I love those two movies. I think those two are phenomenal films.
I love basically all of the Planet of the Apes movies, even the bad ones.
That's fair. I do like the original. Like the I don't think I've seen all of them, but the original's a lot of fun.
We can do a playlist. Nice.
Dude, that'd be fun. That'd be a lot of fun. No, but like this whole movie, one thing is that it's 3 hours long. It's 2 hours and 56 minutes. And I feel like a lot of producers probably try to step in and be like, oh, okay, you got to cut a whole hour out of this movie. And no, thankfully, it seems like the entire story is contained. The pacing is super fucking fast. Like, Matt Reeves had a lot of heart poured into this film, and you can fucking feel it.
Yeah.
And I love that so much because it's in the atmosphere of the film.
Because their other movies have been doing so bad, their DC movies, I think they were like, okay, if we're going to take a risk, we might as well take it with Batman. We know Batman sells. Yeah. So I feel like it would, like, yes, they are letting this artist do his work, but I feel like they're like, this is a very calculated risk. At the very least, we will make money at the box office.
True. And I honestly, though, I hope it just unleashes their encouragement to just keep doing that, to just keep letting... yeah.
I don't know what Patty did with the second movie, but, like, that first movie was rad. So just let them make another rad Wonder Woman movie.
Well, I think the second one was that the producer stepped in, like the literal producer. I think
that's what it was. It feels like that.
Yeah, well, the literal producer, Jeff Johns, the comic book writer, who I think he just produced the first one. He co-wrote the second one. Like, I don't know. It seemed like it was too much. Well, what's going to please them? What can we throw in? Like, make sure there's a giant light going up to the sky. Shit has to be dying. CGI everywhere. Like with the Batman, I mean, I'm sure there is CGI, obviously, but a lot of it is very real. Right. It's very in the moment. Some of the makeup work on the characters is fucking beautiful. We'll get to that when we get to those characters.
Yes. So, what you said about the effects, it's more believable because of the style of technology they gave Batman. He's got a lot of gadgets. I think I've heard some people say, I know a friend of ours said it the other day, that he has more gadgets than the other Batman. Batmans? Whatever. But they're all very low tech.
Yeah. And that's what I fucking love.
Like
that.
His gliding suit, like, you know, in all the other movies, his cape helped him glide. This
fiber had like memory weave fiber fragments.
Or whatever. This one like puffs up like a life preserve and makes a base jumping suit. And he base jumps off the building. And it's not a good idea. And it's such a good part of the movie. It's such a good part of the movie.
And like his most high tech gadget, literally, is a camera lens that is his eye. That is his like eye lens. Right. Like he puts a contact lens in. That's a camera. That's what I'm trying to say.
And he stole it from Torchwood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. But like that's like his most high tech gadget. Everything else is like he has grappling hooks. He has a taser. You know, he's got his batarangs, which are just like 2 pieces of a gun that are his bat signal on his chest.
Yeah.
Like, it's really cool. And so I think we're just going to dive in. We're going to start from the beginning. Yeah. We're going to go through this movie. And there'll be moments where there'll probably be cuts because we'll determine that they're probably too spoilery. I'll try to keep it under wraps, but I'm going to gush.
We got to gush.
Start to film off very un-blockbustery with a quiet title card of the Batman, which I fucking love that. In the theaters, it was kind of cool that, you know, the movie starts and then it's just the Batman. And there's not a lot of loud music to accompany it. It's not like the, you know, it's just, boop, there it is.
Boop, there it
is. And then we open up in the view from binoculars. A pair of binoculars that are looking across a street at a building. You know, they're looking at the guards outside. They're looking at the kids on the street. The binoculars like go up through the rooms, and you can see stuff. And then you see the mayor of Gotham City. He's currently in re-election campaign bid against what's her name? Becca Real? Bella
Real, played by Jamie Lawson.
Thank you. But right now you just see the mayor, who's it's Halloween night. He comes home, his kid fake kills him with his pirate costume.
I thought that was the first real crime. 100%. I thought that was the first real crime. I was like, oh shit, he got stabbed by a ninja. Oh, this has Ra's al Ghul as well? I had no idea.
Oh man, yeah. If you had the volume turned up, you can hear it a little better. You can hear the like, "Honey, I'm home," kind of like from the mayor, and then you can hear the kid going like, "Ah," and then like stab him, and and then you see the father, the mayor, stand up, and he's just like, "Hey, you're gonna walk out of there without giving me a hug?" Kid comes back, gives him a hug. It's a very cute moment.
It is a very.
And then
you
remember that you're watching it from a pair of binoculars creepily across the street. And you're like, what the fuck's going on? And the person's breathing real heavy, too. The person who's looking through the binoculars is like... It's really bad. But then, once the family leaves, once they go trick-or-treating, because it's Halloween, the binoculars pan up, and you see the skylight. You see his entryway. You see the opening into the sky. And then we just immediately cut to the mayor in the building watching the recap of his most recent debate with Bella Real. Mm-hmm. And when he walks away, because everything's in dark, it's all shadows. He's watching it with like the light of a fireplace. And when he walks away, there's a flash of lightning and you see the Riddler standing there. And it's so beautiful. It's such a good shot.
Yeah.
And you realize that's who it was.
Very Halloween shot.
Very Halloween. Very Halloween. I love it. The whole intro is very Halloween. Like, you even have, like, I think, like, a Halloween, like, almost ripped out of the movie mask. Like, it's like a green pumpkin head kind of thing later on.
Yeah, it is a little bit, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if we want to talk about the characters as we go along, or what you want to do. You do want to do that?
I do.
Okay, so let's talk about the Riddler's look. So they go on quite a bit about how the mask is important to the Riddler.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of weird. They don't put Enigma on the IMDb list, like people aren't supposed to know or something.
One of the names they showed was Ed Nashton, and I think that's his official name is Ed Nashton.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But he has when he is caught later on, because obviously he gets caught. I mean, come on.
Yes.
But when he's caught later on, the cops pull out like a bunch of IDs, and one of them just said Ed Nashton, and that's like the closest they got to Enigma.
Gotcha. Well, alright, so they don't know his identity yet in the movie, but in the comic books, it's Edward Nygma. Anyhow, the Riddler, the mask, they say, they make it important, and it's like paralleling with Batman throughout the movie, right?
Yeah.
But, I just...
We'll get into that, because that's beautiful.
I just don't necessarily like the look of the mask.
Really?
No, not really.
See, I do because it becomes very important in the third act when you find out that it is just a cheap mask bought from a hardware store.
Yes.
Love it.
Yeah, I do like that part of it, and also another part of it, which I think will be used later, being his, I'll go ahead and say his followers. I don't think that's really giving away anything. He, when they're wearing the masks, that makes sense. But now, because he does get caught, like we said, it's a Batman movie. Now that everybody knows that it's Paul Dano, I feel like he shouldn't put his face away. Because I feel like in the comic books, he never really puts his face away. Yeah,
I feel like when he returns, we'll probably get the suit. I'm hoping.
That'd be fun.
I'm really hoping for the green suit.
I did like the trench coat look. I liked everything about the look except for the mask.
Yeah.
I liked how the glasses were with the mask, though, because that was kind of... It really did make... It worked for this movie, I'll say that. But I just didn't like it for the Riddler, I guess.
Yeah, it really did. I mean, I can understand where you're coming from. I love him in the shadows because of how Matt Reeves plays with the shadows in this movie. Because this scene, the very intro scene, jumps from that moment to the next moment, which we'll talk about. But to quickly wrap up that moment, the Riddler kills the mayor, and it's not a spoiler because it's right at the fucking beginning, and it's
literally the opening scene.
Yeah, and it sets up everything because that's the first mystery is the mayor has been killed. Mm-hmm. But we jump from that moment to a beautiful voiceover, almost like it kind of has like similarities with The Watchmen, the overtone the voiceover from Robert Pattinson, as he describes who the Batman is in this world, in this movie that we're going to watch. And the Batman in this film is just, he's been Batman for 2 years. He's not even calling himself Batman. He is Vengeance. Yes. He is Vengeance. I think some people call him the Batman, maybe in media. He calls himself the Batman.
At least one time.
Exactly.
But usually when he introduces himself, he says, I'm Vengeance.
I'm Vengeance.
We both did that, so it probably sounded pretty close to the movie.
Oh, it's so good. But he has this voiceover where he's explaining, though, the very harsh reality of the Batman that I feel like a lot of the movies kind of forget is that he can't be everywhere.
Right.
He can't. Yeah. And he's talking about that. He's talking about how, even in 2 years of being the Batman, criminals don't really know what he looks like. They don't know anything about him. Mm-hmm. Like, they know he's out there. There's a big fucking bat signal. Yeah. There's a bat signal flashed into the sky every single freaking night. So, like, they know to fear him. Mm-hmm. And that's what's important, is that they fear him. Yeah. That they're scared of him.
And that's what the whole monologue's about.
Yeah, it really is. And it's beautiful because you see a bunch of criminals throughout the city doing things. And in each one of them, they look off into the shadows. And they're like terrified. They're like, what's in the shadows? What's fucking coming out? And then in one of them, just one of the areas where the criminals were about to get too violent, you hear the footsteps coming. And then out of the shadows walks the Batman.
Yeah.
And it is so beautiful. The music, huge shout out to Michael Giacchino. He is the composer for this. That music is fucking great. Like, the theme of this soundtrack, I love it. It's so good. And, like, you hear the Michael Giacchino style and everything. You can kind of hear the lost violins,
right.
You know?
Yeah. It also, for his theme in particular, the Batman's theme, there's definitely some influence from the Imperial Death March or whatever it is from Star Wars. 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, and also from the Batman the Animated Series.
Right, yeah. Yeah, you can hear that,
you get,
too.
Who is that, Danny Elfman? Yeah, you get a little bit of that Danny Elfman vibe.
Oh.
I think so. I think he did the Animated Series. But from there, you know, Batman shows up. That's where you get the I am vengeance, you know, after he just beats the holy fuck out of this one guy. And, like, I thought it would have been kind of fun. I didn't approach him, but I thought it would have been fun to get Ronvald the Scald on here to talk about Batman's fighting style. Just that alone. Because, like, I know he has to have a lot to say about Batman's fighting style. Yeah. It's very different than the other Batman.
He's a very patient Batman. He lets them attack first, which I like. Well,
and he gets hit a lot.
He does get hit a lot. Yeah.
Which I love, because it's very, again, it's like the Batman the Animated Series. So, like, I'm on record as having told people this already, that before this movie, my favorite Batman movie was, and still is, The Mask of the Phantasm.
You like that better than this movie? Oh, before this.
Yeah. I do like that. I still like that better than this movie. I'll be honest. I love the Mask of the Phantasm. It's so good. But The Dark Knight was very close to it. But then there's the Mask of the Phantasm, which is just like a childhood favorite.
Right.
This movie has blown The Dark Knight out of the water, in my opinion.
Yeah, I really don't know. I like both of them so much. This one probably is better. Because there's things about that movie that's like...
Oh, I remember what I was saying. Like Mask of the Phantasm, like the Animated Series, Batman gets hit a lot. You know, he might be the greatest detective, but at the same time, he is a man. Yeah. And when he is surrounded by like 10 henchmen, he's probably going to take quite a few hits.
Yeah.
You know, he's not going to be dodging every single one of them, and he's not going to be doing the greatest. I mean, I know Christian Bale got hit.
He doesn't have like a giant pole. He's not fucking Neo fighting the Thousand Smiths.
I know the other Batmen all took punches too, but it just felt more real here. You know, he gets surrounded in that first scene. There's like 5 or 6 villains, henchmen, whatever you want to call them, and
Chillins.
You know the Chillins.
Yeah,
and they attack him though. And, like, 2 of them almost immediately get punches off on him. And then he is immediately like, oh, okay, that's your strength. Bam, 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 like, super fast, like, starts hitting them, taking them down real quick. And it's wonderful. It's a great opening scene. Good voiceover from Robert Pattinson. He has a very ominous broodiness to him.
Yeah.
They even play a Nirvana song, which is, like, absolutely fucking perfect for this movie. To skip the next scene real quick, just to say that when they introduce Alfred, who comes in 2 scenes from now, but when they introduce Alfred, they even go like even harder on the emo kid. Yeah. Like it's really bad. It's really bad. Because
that's the first time you get to see him without the mask. Like fully without the mask. Because I do like how easily he goes incognito with just pulling his hood up. He takes the cowl off and puts a jacket on. That's cool. Good at.
But before we get to Alfred. Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah,
Alfred.
Yeah, Andy Serkis plays Alfred. Before we get to him though, Batman, after he beats up those criminals, sees the bat signal in the sky, and we immediately cut to the investigation of the mayor. And that's a great scene. It's really good. You get the first riddle, which we won't spoil what the riddles are or anything. But it has a very strong, if you've ever seen the movie Seven, it's another big inspiration for this film. And it has a very strong Seven vibe where, you know, you come to the crime scene and there is this puzzle laid out for the detectives. Mm-hmm. You know, you got to solve this. There's a secret code. There's riddles because it's the Riddler, of course. And, you know, when Batman comes into this picture, this room is just filled with cops. Mm-hmm. And just how all of them are looking at him, it's great because it's like all of them are like, what the fuck is he doing here? Like, who the fuck is this?
Get what his relationship to the police is. And then, you know, immediately after that, you get Gordon, which is like in this world, literally his only liaison with the police. But apparently Gordon has such sway as just a detective at this point that he's able to bring him in on cases and stuff. I'm not sure if they ever say exactly what position the guy that comes in and yells at him is.
He was the commissioner.
He was the commissioner. But at one point he was Bruce Campbell, Jeffrey Wright. Jeffrey Wright, by the way, I love you as Bruce Campbell. As fucking Jim Gordon.
Jeffrey Wright as Jim so Gordon. Good. Like, honestly, like, of all the Jim Gordons we've gotten, I mean, J.K. Simmons matches the comic book version of Jim Gordon perfectly.
Yeah.
But I love Jeffrey Wright's Jim Gordon. He works so fucking good with Robert Pattinson's Batman. It is way too good. Yeah. Way too good. They both nail the noir buddy cop feel like perfectly.
Like, for some reason, they mesh so well. Yeah. I don't get it.
And I love when they're leaning into each other and they're both whispering so nobody else can hear them. And Jeffrey Wright's just like, he's when he talks, he's not moving his lips at all because he doesn't want to be like have his lips red or anything. But he's also giving a little bit of stank too. He's just like, are you saying that guy is moonlighting as a cat?
Yeah.
That's a bad impression of what Jeffrey Wright's doing, but it's so funny. It's
also
funny
the same
and great.
Scene, he was like, he's like, you gotta punch me in the face.
You gotta punch me in the face, and then you gotta head down there and take the left elevator.
and then Batman gets him to turn the other way, and he just decks him.
It's so bad. But that's not during the mayor investigation scene. That's much later. That's not there. Yeah. No, it's okay. We got on a tangent because Jeffrey Wright is so fucking beautiful in this movie.
Yes.
And after the mayor investigation scene, though, we get some very key and very cool facts about this Batman. You know, you have another voiceover as he's going back to the Batcave. But when you get back to the Batcave, that's when he takes out his contact lens and he replays everything that went through his day. And then he writes in his journal everything that happened. We had never seen Batman do that kind of a thing before, and I fucking loved it because he's like... Robert Pattinson's Batman is like a hardcore insomniac. You know, it's... I read that Pattinson approached this... His take on the Batman, he approached it as Batman is a drug addiction for Bruce Wayne. You know, Bruce needs the Batman because it makes him feel sane. If Bruce is nothing, Batman is his only thing. You know, he doesn't care about his image. He doesn't care about his family name. What he's doing is his family legacy, as he even mentions to Andy Serkis's Alfred when he shows up.
What I've been fighting for.
It's what I'm doing. You're not my dad. He literally says that in this scene. It's hilarious. And that's when it gets way too emo, when it's just like, okay, Robert, you crazy goof.
And it's like, oh, you're not my dad. I mean, like, though, there are instances in the comic book where Bruce is just a dick to Alfred.
Yeah.
So I feel like it was kind of cool to see that, especially with the scene they give us later. There's this beautiful scene that I think Andy Serkis might get another award for.
I don't think so. I don't think the awards will even like look at this movie.
What?
Not coming out in March. Not coming out in March, and they have a whole year. Like, they'll forget about it, sadly. And that's one thing about that, though, honestly, with the whole Alfred thing, is I think that's more of a plot for later movies, because they really don't do fuck jack shit with Alfred in this one. Like, no, he has a few key reveal moments, like, for Bruce's character, but a lot of it's just kind of just like, I'm here to, you know, be a character. Because what's Batman without Alfred, right?
Yes. But hey, sad. You know, he did do ciphers back in the old days, so that they hint at his past and stuff. And Sarah was like, hey, what was Alfred before he worked with the Waynes? And I was like, oh, he's like an MI5 agent or something.
Yeah, like a soldier of some sorts in some stories. Yeah.
A mercenary sometimes, I think. You have to go?
I have to pee real quick, yeah.
Let's do a soda pop break. This is a good place for a soda pop break. So we'll be right back with more of the Batman.
Are we back?
Oh, sure.
Sorry about that, Couch Potatoes. I was just so excited that my bladder just was like, hey, bro, I'm erupting.
Yeah, maybe I should have went pee in that break, but oh well.
Yeah, I'm gonna try not to like bog us down in all the details. I'm gonna try to go through it a little faster so that we can talk more of the important stuff. So after we get the Alfred scene, after he shows his worth and starts solving some riddles and stuff, we get to the big. We get to one of the funnier jokes first of all, and this was where the theater atmosphere was great. Eventually, Batman and Gordon decide to check out the mayor's car, and when they get there, they find a thumb drive. I will say,
yes,
yep. And that's the joke. Is Batman is looking for this thumb drive, as he's like, I'm searching for a thumb drive or whatever, and he opens up the armrest area, the armrest compartment, and pulls out the thumb drive that has a thumb, the mayor's thumb, attached to it.
Yep.
And Batman holds it up and looks at Gordon and goes, thumb drive. And that's it.
Thumb drive.
It was beautiful because in the theater, I could literally feel everybody looking at each other going, did Batman just make a joke? And like it took a solid 2 seconds after he had said that for everybody to go and just start laughing, to just burst out, myself included, because I had the exact same reaction, which was like, was that a joke? Did Batman just make a thumb drive joke? It was beautifully delivered.
So it kind of feels like, because this Batman is at least portrayed much younger than Jim, it seems like, hey, I've been working with this guy for a while. Maybe I'll start trying to crack some jokes around work.
Right.
Yeah.
I love it, man. It's so good. And like this Bruce Wayne is like very much a socially awkward individual.
Yeah.
He doesn't know really how to communicate with people very well. And it's just that kind of a joke. It was just so fucking hilarious. Like, I've seen this movie 3 times, and each time I've been like rolling on the floor laughing. Like, it's great. But from there we get a big returning story arc of this movie, which is Batman or Bruce Wayne visits the Iceberg Lounge. It happens 3 times that he comes back to the Iceberg Lounge, and the first time he comes in as Batman. He knocks on the door. The Iceberg Lounge, if you don't know, is where the Penguin's at, which is the clue that Batman and Gordon found, was that the mayor, might have been doing some stuff at the Penguin's Iceberg Lounge. And when Batman, he knocks on the door, and the twins open up. The twins, I don't know who plays them. It doesn't matter. They're great. They're fucking lovely. Whoever you are, I'm so sorry. But
whoever you are,
they open it up.
Sorry.
They open up the door, and Batman's like, "Do you know who I am?" And they're just like, "Yeah." He's like, "I want to talk to the Penguin." It's like, "I don't know what you're talking about, buddy." And then Batman just beats the shit out of them and goes inside.
So the twins. Great. were played by Charlie and Max Carver.
Thank you. They get so much shit throughout this movie. I feel so bad for them. Like, literally every scene that they're in, they get beaten up. It's so funny. But that's also where you meet the Penguin, where you meet Oswald Cobblepot.
Oh, man.
Amazingly played by Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
And, like, the makeup work done on him should get awards.
I would honestly even say the performance, man. That's a fucking good performance. It was, like, straight out of, like, an Oscar-winning gangster movie. 100%.
Well, he somehow took the animated version and, like, mixed it with some of the live-action versions, like, perfectly.
Yeah.
Like, because there's a little bit of, like, Danny DeVito almost in there. Wait. Is it Danny DeVito?
Danny DeVito, plays the Tim Burton Penguin.
Thank you. There's like a little bit of that in there. Just a bit. Like a tiny bit. Not a lot, but there's just a little bit. Same with like the Gotham TV show version. There's just a little bit of that, like, not mania, but like that kind of wit that's in him. But yeah, he really does just feel like a criminal, like a mobster.
He plays a very nuanced mobster, and that nuance that Colin puts in it really makes it the Penguin. And it is such a I feel like, okay, so we've played the Arkham games too. I feel like there is some inspiration from that, because I feel like that was probably one of the more grounded versions of the Penguin that we've seen.
Same.
Besides in the comic books. Sometimes in the comic books he's like wild and crazy, and sometimes he is just a gangster.
Yeah. They like to change him a lot. Depends on the author.
As much as I appreciate the umbrella bits and stuff, this was so good. And I do honestly think that Colin will receive some sort of accolades for it.
Definitely. He should.
He's getting a lot of buzz for it anyways.
Yeah.
Good performance.
And I mean, like, one thing is that I love, like, if you have the time, just go out and watch the, like, very quickened version of him receiving the makeup. Like, imagine having to do that. There's so much prosthetics on him just to make him look heavier. Like, it's amazing. And then to act with all of that on, to use all of that even as part of your character, it's just amazing.
So,
well done.
He uses it so well. It feels like it's his body.
Yeah, it really does. Like, he is almost unrecognizable.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if I did not know it was him, I probably would not have. Yeah.
100%.
And from after the Iceberg Lounge, that's where you meet Selena Kyle there, played by Zoe Kravitz, Catwoman. She also refers to herself only once, I think, as Catwoman. And she doesn't even call herself Catwoman.
I think she
just
said
says
the cat in the bat, which is like a great thing from at least the recent comics.
Yeah, the Tom King years. Oh, man, I love that. I'll talk what I think the sequels are going to be later on, but the Tom King years, I think, will be heavily influenced in the sequels.
Oh, man, I was thinking that too.
Yeah. But we follow Selena Kyle back. Batman specifically creepily stalks her back to her apartment.
Very scary, yes.
Which is where you get the setup for, like, my favorite thing about this movie, which is he follows her back, and then he has the exact same binoculars that the Riddler has, and he's looking at her across the street, just like the Riddler was at the very opening of the movie. And you get that's the first hint of the big message of this movie, which is that if Batman is thirsting for vengeance, if he is solely out to seek vengeance, if he is not a figure of hope, then all he's doing is inspiring criminals.
Yeah.
That's the first, like, key parallel that this movie is, like, hinting at, is like, look, Batman's not much different than the Riddler. Him and the Riddler are both doing the exact same things right here in this moment. He is stalking a woman, looking at her across the street with these binoculars. It's disturbing. Yeah. It's creepy.
In fact, the first time I watched it, I did watch the movie twice. The first time I watched it, I thought that was the Riddler looking at her. Then they show his face real quick, and I was like, oh no, that's Rob Pat. Okay.
Right.
Because he is incognito. He's not the Batman. That's another part that I like, is he only brings out the suit when he wants to be the Batman around other people.
Yeah, the only thing I hope that they step up in the next sequel is that while not in dress, while not as the Batman, he starts wearing costumes still. Like makeup and stuff, like to change his appearance. You know, kind of like Sherlock Holmes in that one movie where he was like, he grabbed like a hat and a scarf. And,
right. Like he's a ship captain so that he can ferry these people out to sea. Yeah.
Yes. I want more of that. I want more of the Batman is not only an expert detective and an expert fighter, but at the same time, he's an expert, almost magician in a way. Like he knows his illusions. And I want that. I want to see that more. And I think that's one area to draw from is because, as you said, he's not in his suit throughout a lot of this movie. He is Rob Pat. Yeah. He is, he has a motorcycle helmet on, or he has like a heavy scarf kind of thing around his neck, like an ascot. Mm-hmm. From Selina's apartment, you find out that she is protecting somebody who is
Annika.
Yeah, thank you, Annika. She was involved with the mayor. She was one of the photos, and Selina has a connection to her. I think it's kind of implied that they might be lovers.
I'm not so sure.
And she calls her babe.
She calls her babe and stuff. I think they just kind of grew up together, and she takes care of her.
Yeah, part of it, and I don't know, the vibe I get, maybe it's just because I'm a perv, is that they're lovers. I do remember that Zoe Kravitz said that her take on Catwoman was that she is bisexual. So I think that might have been it also, is that I was just reading into how she was viewing her character.
Maybe. I mean, I feel like that really works for Catwoman, especially with her comic book relationships with Poison Ivy and, I guess mostly Poison Ivy. Right. So, just real quickly, Hannah Herzig plays Annika. It is a very small role, but I wanted to mention it. It's important to the plot.
Yeah, but Batman follows Selina back to the mayor's apartment building. Change. After the costume change. After she changes into Cat and he changes into the Bat.
And I want to say, real quick, about the costume, that I like everything about this Catwoman, except for the mask. It is just...
Really?
It's just so stupid, dude. It is just...
No, I love it.
Okay, I like the head part. The actual cow part with the little itty-bitty cat ears on them. That's fucking adorable. The only thing that's concealing her identity, she's wearing the exact same makeup as she was before. The only thing concealing her identity is this strap of cloth that just goes over her nose. Just her nose. It doesn't cover her mouth or her eyes, or most of her forehead.
That's fair. That's
and
fair,
I don't like the way it looks.
At the same time, I'll say, my favorite interpretation is the Arkham games. Mm-hmm. And literally all she has on that are little red goggles and then the same cow.
And that is fine.
But it doesn't cover her identity at all.
I don't care that it doesn't cover her identity. It's not trying to. There is a strap of cloth trying to conceal her identity that is doing nothing for her. And it's doing nothing for her aesthetically either.
I think as a cat burglar, you're operating in the dark, and in the dark, I think that does wonders. I think somebody's going to look at her and not see anything.
Okay, but
I don't know.
It could have covered, if it covered from here down, it still would have looked great.
Right.
It would have looked amazing. And it would have actually been something. I don't know. It doesn't look good. I don't think it looks good. Beyond the practicality.
I think they were just trying to go for cheap versions of first sight, for origin stories of all of these characters. So it's I think it'll get better as it goes on. But I think it worked for this film. I think it was cute and adorable. I loved it.
If she just cut the nose piece in half, it would be perfect.
Right.
Even just if they would just dangle off to the side like little straps, that would be cute.
I could agree, I guess. I wasn't at all bothered by it. I thought it was a good outfit, but I can understand what you're saying. It's
my only real flaw
goofy.
with this movie.
Yeah, I don't know. It kind of just feels like a noir choice, though. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
I feel like I could see that in a noir, but there's not really much that happens in that scene. You get to see Selena picking some locks, which is fun, and then Batman and her fight, and you get to see how Batman handles it, which is just ridiculously easy. I love it.
Also, you get Zoe Kravitz's movement in that scene, though, too, and she's really good at doing the cartwheel walking, is what I'll call it for Catwoman. It's really cool.
Yeah, and like you see pretty well that like if she was going up against anybody other than Batman, she could easily hold her own.
Mm-hmm.
Like you immediately get the idea that this woman can take care of herself, as she's constantly proves. Yeah, she's good. But that's pretty much it. They go back to Selena's apartment after that, where you find out that Annika, the apartment was broken into and Annika's been kidnapped. And you have some very hilarious and very awkward scenes for Batman, including a moment where a bunch of cats are like purring up against his boots, and he looks down, sees all the cats, and he looks back up at Selena and he goes, "You got a lot of cats."
Yeah. I got a thing for strays.
It's so funny. It's like, good observation, Batman. World's greatest detective. That's another. Okay, so having seen this movie now 3 times in 3 months, I will say one of the flaws that has become apparent in many rewatches way too fast is that it spends a lot of time pointing out the obvious.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of it, is like him looking down and going, "You got a lot of cats." And then there's another time where both him and Jim Gordon basically just explain what's going on. Like, Batman is looking through Selena's eyes because she's got the contact lens cameras on,
right? And
he's looking through her eyes and he's like, "That guy right there, he blah 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 exposition blah 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 blah." And it's just like, okay, I got it. Like, you don't have to tell us what she's looking at. She's literally looking at it. We know.
Yeah.
That's like one of the few flaws, is just like they take way too many times to point out the obvious, and it's like and it's kind of just to break it up a bit, kind of make it feel more noir-y also. But it bothers me after 3 watches. It bothered me. I did not care at all.
They probably, while they love the fact that you want to rewatch it, they probably didn't expect you to watch it 3 times in that quicker succession.
I know. Hey, honestly, I had only watched it twice until yesterday when you were like, "I think we should watch it again and then deep dive." And I was like,
"Yeah,
that's a good idea. I want to do that." It wasn't, you didn't have to twist my arm.
Well, I didn't know you had already gotten 2 views.
Well, I watched it in the theaters and then watched it immediately once it dropped on HBO Max.
So we watched it the same day twice in 2 different places.
And then someday we'll watch it together.
Someday.
In a year. It's going to be a while. I can't watch it so quickly after. Let's see. What happens after? What happens after they stalk Selena? You get the next riddle. While he's at Selena's house, actually, the Riddler comes on the TV.
Right.
That's another issue I have, is the media is way too loosey-goosey with the Riddler shit. They're just like, "The Riddler put up a new video today. We're gonna play it all for you. Warning, it's graphic."
yeah, definitely. Like, I think it makes a little bit more sense, the Nolan verse, because by the time the Joker comes around, he's been Batman for a while. And like, they're used to crazy shit happening, and they're like, okay, if we don't show this guy is gonna kill more people, so
right.
Yeah.
Right. And it felt so weird in this movie, because it's just like, the Riddler put out a video today. The police commissioner has been killed, and the Riddler put up a video of him doing it. We're gonna play it for you. This is graphic.
Yes.
Just so you know. And then they literally play a video of the Riddler. Again, Paul Dano does an amazing job.
Yeah.
You get a little bit of the lunatic in this. You get a little bit of those hints that this guy's probably not mentally stable. He's a little, little unhinged. And he has the commissioner with a with a rat cage kind of thing on his head, kind of. I don't know. He's connected to a bunch of rats, and the rats are going to come and eat him or kill him, that kind of a torture device. And the media's just playing that. The media is just playing the full thing. They're showing everything.
So I didn't think about it from that point of view. Like, why are they doing this? Why are they showing this?
There's a reason Gotham is fucked up.
Yeah.
Their news is crazy. Right, that's true. That's true.
Anyhow, I think that those scenes are cool, though, because it definitely seems like what the Riddler would do in the animated series. But he would force his way onto the broadcast or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then he wouldn't be committing the action in the past. It would be happening now, so Batman can go and stop it and save the life. Yeah.
Though I think that kind of makes this Riddler a little bit smarter.
And more dangerous, yeah.
And more dangerous. Definitely more dangerous.
Yeah.
A lot more dangerous.
After that, Batman just sends Catwoman undercover. He's just like, I need more info. Go into the Iceberg Lounge. Here's some contact lenses as cameras. You have a cute moment where Catwoman thinks he's coming in for a kiss, but in fact, he's just making sure the contact lenses aren't visible.
Right, yeah.
I love that moment so much because Zoe's just like looking into his eyes like, oh my God, is he going to kiss me? Is this going to happen?
And he's just
like,
I don't know this guy, but I like his suit.
I like his suit, his demeanor. He's kind of handsome. She's like, she's got a crush on him. Easy. Yeah, a little awkward. She likes strays. She's already mentioned that.
That's true.
Like, yeah. And she's all over him. While she goes undercover, she goes into the Iceberg Lounge. She goes actually into the 44 Below, which is the club within the club.
The club within the club. Under the hub.
Under the hub.
For the grub.
Wow. It's where all the crazy shit goes down, including drop heads. That's the drug of this movie. There's a bunch of drug addicts who are doing the drops is what they're called. Yes. I'm assuming, again, that's a sequel thing. I think that's going to play in big in the next two films. Because they don't do much with it. They're just kind of background details.
I don't recognize it from anything that I've read or seen.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I don't remember it either.
There's like so many drugs to reference in the comic books.
Yeah.
Like
right.
Making their own kind of intrigues me. Then they drop it in the eye. That's why it's called drops.
And then like the only use of it for the end is that the Riddler's followers are a lot of them are drop heads. That's a lot of the people he reaches is through that kind of a thing. People who are addicted to stuff, I guess, who need some kind of chaos.
Yeah.
While she's there, one of the dropheads that Selina comes across is the district attorney, played by Peter Sarsgaard. Yeah, not long ago we found out that Peter Sarsgaard is was it Maggie Gyllenhaal's husband? Is that right?
That's right. Yeah, I think so.
So like it's kind of weird because I don't think I'd ever really known this man until we watched that Maggie Gyllenhaal movie.
Oh, really? Like I've seen I've known that I've liked roles that he's been in.
Yeah.
But I never really realized that he was a Skarsgård.
Well, he's not a Skarsgård. He's a Sarsgaard.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a different family.
Dyslexia.
Yeah, but like I didn't know him, but I knew that I liked him. But I never really put together who he was. I didn't remember him, and then now it just seems like I'm seeing him fucking everywhere. I'm like, what's happening?
I mean, he's one of those actors who's just that gets a bazillion side roles because he's good.
He's good. But here he's the district attorney. He's a drophead. He hits on Selina. He gives her some details. It's a good scene.
Yeah.
But Selina gets out of there. She has a fight with Batman. She breaks contact. She escapes.
Well, I did want to mention that she meets one other very important character down there, and that is Carmine Falcone. The head of the Falcone family.
Played by John Turturro.
Yes, John Turturro. Honestly, dude, if he and Peter Capaldi played brothers, I know that one's English and one's not, But when Peter Capaldi was going to be the Doctor, I was like, oh, the guy from Brother Where Out.
No, they would make good brothers, I think.
Yes, I think so.
And he's great as Falcone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's just another mob man. You know, it's like he fits perfectly in this world, in this weird noir crime world that Reeves has set up.
He also has like this tense politeness to him. You don't actually ever see him be mean to somebody until he's about to kill them. Yeah,
it's good. It's really good. And after that, you know, you get the URL Rata Alada reveal from Alfred. Once Batman is ruining his ended date with Catwoman, where she took out her contact lenses and said "fuck off," basically.
Yeah,
and he's just like, "Oh, I suck at women. Damn it!"
Damn. I thought this was going well. They never like my hobbies.
You don't like me. You never liked me. Oh man!
I just imagine Batman with a hunchback.
You're right.
You think they'll ever do it?
No. Well, actually, maybe if they do Batman Beyond and have Bruce Wayne as the butler guy for Terry McGinnis. That'd be kind of fun if he has a little bit of a hunchback from all of his fighting.
Sarah and I, when we were watching it last night, we're talking about, will they ever do a non-white Batman?
Dude, I mean, that's my plan. If I ever get the fucking rights, I'm doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. Why?
I have again. I don't know if I've mentioned it on. I'm sure I have. I have a 7 television series. I have 7 different television series that would be a combined DC Comics Justice League universe.
I think I just came up with what our new podcast, the podcast just for Patreons. It's going to be called
just this episode.
It's going to be called Green and Faceless Make TV. And we're just going to like talk through the TV ideas. Like we'll do a pitch and we'll just talk through the whole thing. And just spitball and workshop them.
I love it. We'll do it.
We'll maybe do that.
Yes, please. But yeah, the DA, he gets kidnapped by the Riddler. It's fucking great scene. Yeah. A lot of it happens out of focus, and it makes it even more terrifying. Like, I know, you know, maybe some people will watch that scene and get annoyed and be like, why can't we just see what's going on? This is stupid. No, it makes what's coming more frightening because you don't know what's coming. You just saw a bunch of flashing lights and a lot of beeps, and you heard some duct tape sounds. And it's like,
and then all of a sudden, it's the pizza bomber again. So, I guess if you don't know what I'm talking about, I do think that they did design the device that gets put around the DA's neck after what actually happened in real life in the pizza bomber case. This guy named Brian Wells robbed a bank with this collar around his neck, claiming that it was a bomb, and then the police didn't get there in time enough to defuse the bomb, and he died.
Oh,
it's more complex than that.
Yeah, that almost definitely sounds like it definitely sounds like the inspiration for this.
It was kind of cool because I just watched a documentary called Evil Genius on Netflix. I believe that's what it's called. I recommend it, secret review of that, where they talk about this. And it was like, oh wow, this Riddler thinks like some of the people in that documentary think. So it's really interesting. If you like this character and want to see what maybe some of the inspiration was for it, go check out Evil Genius on Netflix.
If you feel like you too can become a serial killer.
If you do, sometimes I do think if I could. You know what, maybe I could. And then I was like, oh wait, you have to kill people to do that. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that.
Right. No, that's the scariest thing about my life is that pretty much everybody in my life watches these murder podcasts or watches all these like, this serial killer did this. And I'm sitting here thinking, why you guys like I like murder as much as the next man, but I keep my murder in the fictional. I like to read about people who don't exist dying. Like, just everyone in my life, literally everyone in my life is just like, oh man, I think serial killers are fascinating. I do. But I think they're fascinating from a horror perspective because I'm, scared by it. But a lot of the people in my life, they don't seem to be fascinated in the fact that they're scared by it. They seem to be fascinated in general. And,
yeah,
and it scares the crap out of me.
I will say that I do find it very fascinating. And why, I don't know. Part of it is, like, knowing what some people have done out there, how extreme humanity can be. It gives you some perspective on, like, what to watch out for. For example, John Wayne Gacy, he was everyone's fucking favorite neighbor, pretty much. It could be anybody. Not to scare you. It's not me, okay?
No, I mean, I totally get it. I'm just like, it's just scary, and it's scary to me that all of my friends...
I don't know. I don't get it.
Not even just all my friends, all like everyone in my life. I'm keeping it in the fictional, but Riddler is definitely based off of a lot of different serial killers and psychopaths, and it all culminates greatly. And the scene with the mayor, not with the mayor, with the district attorney rather, because he comes crashing in. He crashes the mayor's funeral. He drives a car right into it. And then he steps out and he's like, I got a bomb. The Riddler's going to threaten to blow it up. I have a phone taped to my hand and the Batman needs to answer it.
Everybody.
And so they clear the fuck out of there. The police clear everybody out. And then they don't send the Batman in. The Batman just goes in and they're kind of shocked by it. Like this is one of the few areas where I think they should have been more talky and less, more talking of the obvious, because they cut to a policeman who sees the Batman enter there and he goes, what the hell? And it's just like, it's clear that the policeman didn't know. But it would have been nice to have, like, one policeman just go,
how the hell
what the hell? We sealed off all the entrances. How did he get in there? Like, just that. Yeah, just that would have been a little, like, that's one area where I would have been more accepting of, like, the silly dialogue that kind of cliched. But they don't have that. They just have the, what the hell? What the hell? How do you get in there? We had all these entrances sealed. But no, when Batman answers the phone, the bomb gets activated, and you have some really rapid fire riddles and a very intense scene.
Yeah.
I won't spoil it. It's exciting. But it leads Batman and Gordon. They've discovered something, which is that they're trying to find a rat. Because a constant thing in a lot of the Batman stories is that the Maroni family and the Falcone family constantly fighting. They're always at odds with each other. There's two big gang families of Gotham.
And this is like after that's all over.
Yeah, because the mayor, the district attorney, the commissioner, these powerful people all caught Maroni. They brought Maroni down. His drug industry is done. The Maroni family is ruined, and now it's just Falcone there, blah, blah, blah. But they know, Batman and Gordon have discovered that the Riddler's whole, this might be spoilers, I'm sorry, but he's looking for the rat. He wants the rat on Maroni. That's what he wants. Why? I won't go into it. There's a lot of backstory, a lot of inspiration from other comic book stories that are really fun. But that's what he's looking for. He wants the rat. And Batman and Gordon, they kind of think the rat might be the Penguin, so they go out to find the Penguin again. Oh, it's the chase scene. It's so good. It's so good. There's a lot of shit that goes down there. Some stuff with Catwoman. And you also find find out that Annika has died. Sadly. That's probably spoilers. I'll probably cut that. But what happens, though, is you get the big chase scene. Because the Penguin runs away. He gets in his car. He drives off. You get the reveal of the Batmobile.
I do.
It's so good.
Like it.
It's such a good scene. I will say this. I love it, man. I love it. And if you're going to watch this at home, if you're going to watch this on your TV, make sure your brightness is low. In the theaters, the darkness was much darker. And so when you get the reveal of the Batmobile, when the Penguin looks up down that dark alley, all you see is the orange light coming out from the hood. And it's eerie as fuck all. It looks so good. It's straight out of like a Halloween. It's straight out of like Christine by John Carpenter's Christine. Like, it was a good
this Batmobile
shot.
Is from a multiverse that Mad Max exists in. That's where it's from. Okay, it is 100% American Muscle meets Batmobile, and I fucking love it. Okay, so me and Sarah also said the first time we watch it, it's Batman before he meets Lucius Fox. He doesn't got somebody to make all the high tech shit for him, so he built this car. Yeah. He took this car and he put a jet engine on it, and that is literally what it is.
And it's fucking great. I love it, man. And like, another good thing about this scene too, and something that you see in a lot of, like, it happens in Marvel movies. I've seen it, and I think I saw it in the Nolan films. There's not product placement in this chase scene. You don't see you don't see, like, this is a Dodge. You know, you don't have a close up of like the plate, the name, the kind of anything. It's all blacked out. You know, this is just the Batmobile, motherfucker. It is not branded. He's not driving the Jaguar or anything. You know, it's like cars. But it's just the Batmobile, and it's fucking great. It's souped up. The scene is awesome. Yes. The music from Michael Giacchino. Fucking phenomenal in that scene. That scene was like the greatest, and it was another one of those great moments in the theaters where it's like you could feel that everybody was in that moment in that chase scene because it's so good. One thing I hate a lot about Batman chase scenes, because there's always a car chase scene in a Batman film, and then in the Nolan versions, you had a lot of cutaways to cops who would give one-liners. Like, what the fuck is he doing? Oh, he turned over there. You know, like that kind of stuff. Like, where they just cut back and you have like a comedy moment. Well, that's all on Colin Farrell in this film, or in this moment. That's all on the Penguin. And it's just like, it's his deliveries of everything. Oh, it's so funny. And it's perfect for the moment. It matches the music. Like, there are like 5 or 6 scenes in this film that I think are just perfect 100%. Cinema, and that chase scene is one of them. Like, it is so much fun. The Penguin,
before this chase scene starts, wields his Uzi. I fucking love that. He's like all over his hair. He's like, I'm gonna spray paint you.
Yeah.
Very Scarface.
Right, yeah, exactly. And when Batman catches up to, when the chase ends and he has Penguin and him and Gordon interrogate Penguin, you have a lot of hilarious moments where, you know, they do like the detective lays out the whole mystery in front of the guy, and the guy just kind of looks at him and is like, you guys are fucking idiots. Like, you're basing all of this on one clue, and you're interpreting the clue wrong, and the Penguin fucking schools both Batman and Gordon on Spanish.
Good. I like it.
So funny. After that, you know, some shit happens, but I think honestly that's probably where we should put up the spoiler
I was going to agree. We have all our players now. Yeah. We've set up what's happening, why Batman gets involved. He's literally addressed to him these murders. So I think that is enough for us to put up a spoiler wall and talk for a few more minutes. If you really have not seen this movie yet, we're probably going to give away some shit that you're going to hope you didn't know. If you have already seen it, come join us on the other side. If you wish to skip any more spoilers, go to hour 1:43 minute. Maybe give it a little smidge more.
Tink, 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 it's up. Tink, tink. Yeah, so one of the biggest inspirations after basically what happens right after that is you get a lot of Hush drops. There's another comic out there called Hush, another one of my favorites. It's really good, and that's a lot of that has to do with Batman's or Bruce Wayne's family, his father specifically, and actions that his father has committed that are now affecting Bruce. And specifically in this movie, Thomas Wayne might have gone to Carmine Falcone, to ask him to handle a journalist who was digging up some very hurtful things on Martha Wayne. And, you know, in Thomas Wayne, he didn't come to him like, I want this man killed. It was more along the lines of, hey, I've been trying to talk to this guy. Can you lean on him a little bit? Because he's not leaving my wife alone, and I'm getting tired of it. You know, he did it in a good manner. Like, he wasn't intending bad things, but it went bad ways.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest Hush Easter egg, and I'm comfortable saying this behind the spoiler wall, is that the journalist that was killed, his last name was Elliot. And in the Hush storyline, if you know Batman, Hush, the villain of that storyline, is Tommy Elliot. He when he grew up, he was jealous of Bruce Wayne. He was jealous of Bruce being rich. You know, how could that man be an orphan? He's fucking rich. You know, and you get a lot of that in the Riddler's character. The Riddler kind of feels the same way. You know, he feels like there was a big mystery that happened. Somebody. It's so hard to talk about because I don't want to spoil everything.
Right, yeah.
You know, I want to keep some of it locked up, but basically you get the idea that maybe this version of the Riddler is actually Elliot.
Oh.
He's actually Tommy Elliot from the comics. I don't think that's the case. Oh. What I think is that that Riddler grew up in the same orphanage as Tommy Elliot, as the son of the journalist that Thomas Wayne accidentally got knocked off.
That. But I always thought the Elliots.
Yeah, I think that
the Elliots were always supposed to be. I don't think they've done the story often enough to say always. But I thought that they were a well-off family that was friends of the Waynes.
I think so too. I think that's a change that this movie made. And it's one that I agree with because one of the story ideas for the sequels that I think your next sequel is that they're going to do the Court of Owls story. Because as we'll explain soon, Gotham is kind of at a rebirth stage at the end of this movie. And that's a perfect moment to do the Court of Owls. As it's being reborn, Batman is uncovering all of this shit about its history and about his family's history in particular. So I think the next movie they're going to do Court of Owls, I hope. And at the same time, they'll do Hush. I think in this movie you'll find, or in the second movie, my opinion of it, my deep thought on it is that Hush will come in and you'll find out that he's been manipulating the Riddler for years. That he basically set up everything of this film because he's been goading the Riddler to hate Bruce Wayne, to hate all of these people who were involved in getting Elliot's father killed.
That's
you know, and the Riddler is in this movie. He's manic.
Oh yeah,
he's manic. He's looking for friends. He's seeking people who are similar to him. So I feel like like that's an easy.
I just always felt like Edward was smarter than Tommy, but you know they can do whatever they want in the movies.
I think so too. That's why I think that the third film will be the War of Jokes and Riddles. I think that the Joker and the Riddler will, you know, they'll be the surviving members to continue the rebirth of Gotham into the third film.
Gotcha.
You know, yeah. I think
I feel like
this is all like, you know, I don't know shit.
I feel like there was also the Hush Easter eggs were definitely fucking there. But I feel like there was also a lot of Scarecrow.
Who's even broadcasting right across the screen.
I feel like. At least with the fear. They just talk about fear so much. And like, I guess you can't, it's kind of hard to do a Batman movie and not talk about fear, in some capacity. Right. But I feel like, I just like the toxin element of it. And that brings me to the other thing I really wanted to talk about, which is much later in the film, where Batman injects himself with some sort of green liquid. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Is it venom? Is it just adrenaline? If it's just adrenaline, did it have to be green? No. I feel like it's venom.
Right.
And then my question is like, in one of these movies, is he going to realize that it's very addictive and then dump his stash? And that's how it gets out to what's it fuck prison.
Yeah, Santa Maria or whatever.
He starts his own new nemesis on accident.
Ooh, that'd be interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I was wondering that too, because it happened in the theaters. He injects himself with a green liquid, and you immediately, if you've watched any kind of if you've read any kind of Bane comic or played the games or whatever, once you see green liquid, you're like, oh, Venom! Yeah. Especially once you get especially right after he takes it, he gets super fucking charged with adrenaline and just beats the fuck out of the guy. And only stops because Gordon pulls him off. He almost punches Gordon in that moment too. No, I'm curious. I don't know. I like that idea, and it works definitely for emo Batman. So, I was thinking that it is Venom, but I've heard a lot of people who are very adamant against it. They don't believe it
because they can't believe that good boy Bruce would do such a thing. But the man keeps kryptonite in his basement to kill his best friend if he has to. Okay.
If he has to.
Only if he has
to. Yeah, I think, there's so much to talk about. I mean, Bruce Wayne visits the Iceberg Lounge 2 more times, so that's one thing I loved about this movie is, again, you have Batman visits the Iceberg Lounge, which is he goes there, beats the shit out of people. You have Bruce Wayne visits the Iceberg Lounge, which is he goes there, he looks all sad and decrepit, and they let him in. And then you have the third time where he goes there, he knocks on the door, he ding-dong ditches them, he knocks on the door, the twins open up and are like, what the heck, there's nobody out here? And then he just sleuths in. He just sneaks in like a ninja, closes the door. It's so good. I love... I don't know, you get a lot of the personalities of Bruce. He is, again, he's just a very socially awkward guy.
Yeah.
And he's so focused on his mission. That's it. That's this whole movie is that he's focused on vengeance. And that leads me to the big thing that I wanted to talk about behind the spoiler wall, which is the Riddler Joker or the Riddler Batman parallels. Yeah. The big fight scene in the third act, when you get there, you have a guy who, one of the Riddler's henchmen, he's beaten down. And, Jim Gordon pulls off his mask and he goes, who the hell are you? And the guy responds, I'm vengeance. Mm-hmm. And that's when Batman realizes the entire fucking thing. He started realizing it in when he interviewed the Riddler. When they catch the Riddler and the Riddler's behind bars, he interviews the Riddler. And, so good. Very good. You discover that the Riddler thinks that the Batman is helping him willingly. Not that he's leaving him all these clues, but he thinks that Batman's doing it because he's vengeance, because he wants these people to suffer too. He thinks that they'd help each other, not that Batman is a vigilante. Yeah. And that's when Batman realizes I'm so focused on when he removes that henchman's face in the final fight scene, removes his mask in the final fight scene, he's just fucking die. I have taken Venom and I kill you. There definitely
are a couple points where the don't kill people rule is just conveniently. It's not as blatant as in the Batman v Supes. Yeah. But there's definitely a couple times
it's
where
much fewer.
Some people fall off some shit that they didn't have to fall off of.
But typically it's either a drop or they are on wires. So and the movie does enough to show you that they're on wires. No, because he a lot of times he just shoots people through the shin bone with his grappling hook and just leaves them dangling.
Which that has to fucking hurt.
It's got to. But I'm sure there's more, but the one time where I saw him blatantly kill somebody, was when this guy swings a gun at him, and Bruce punches him, and then pulls his arm so that the guy shoots the trigger and shoots another guy over the other way. That's the one time where I'm like, yeah, Batman, you shot that guy. It might have been that guy's finger. It might have been his finger on the trigger. But you were the one who forced him to pull it by tugging on his arm.
Says, prove it.
I didn't kill no one.
I didn't break the rule.
No, he doesn't do it a lot though. I will be honest. I think there's a lot less Batman kills, which I liked. I liked this Batman kind of staying by his rule. But he realizes that being so hell-bent on his vengeance, on this mission, it's not inspiring people. crime's still up. People hate living in Gotham. It's still a bad place. Like, he realizes he's inspiring the wrong people.
And that was the real ending of the movie.
And it's a great
That was
moment.
the real ending of the movie for me.
Yeah.
They kind of did the Peter Jackson thing a little bit.
Where they just had a lot of falling action for a half hour.
I did like most of the scenes. But I think that was my favorite, like, that's a good ending feeling movie.
Yeah. Honestly, when I saw it in theaters, it was, like, almost underwhelming, because what happens is after Batman realizes that he is inspiring the wrong people, before this the Riddler had flooded the city. He had blown up the dams and Gotham was rapidly flooding. At least a section of Gotham was, maybe not the whole area, but he and everybody goes to this one location, the safe haven, but it's also flooding. And he looks up and he sees that this live wire, this big, like, display thing, like a TV screen or whatever, is going to fall into the water and electrocute a lot of people. And he jumps out there, cuts the fucking wire so that it doesn't kill anybody, and, falls down. It's a great moment, but it is like the rebirth moment. He sacrifices himself. And when he comes out of the water and he lights his flare and you have that iconic fucking shot of him leading the people through the water, that's like his rebirth moment for this movie. That's when he's just like, now he's going to inspire
he's the
hope.
Batman.
He's not going to be this vengeance. Now he's the Batman. It's so good. Like, it at first I was like underwhelmed when I was watching it in theater, and then he's leading those people through that water, and I was just like, holy shit. I was like rocked. I was like, what a good message. I fucking loved it.
It was a good way to do Batman. That's for sure.
Yeah, and then you just have the falling action. You have the they tie off shit with Catwoman. You have a scene with Riddler and the Joker and Arkham Asylum. So they tease the Joker, here played by Barry Keoghan. And I have to take a quick pause and explain that Irish people will probably say it's Barry Keoghan. I might be pronouncing the Irish pronunciation wrong also, but I looked up interviews. I am Irish. I was interested. I want to make sure I pronounce this correctly because I have Irish ancestry. I don't want to insult my familial ancestors. Kalan. But yeah, I watched interviews where he literally says it's pronounced Keoghan or something. I think it's Keoghan. He says that the G is in there. He pronounces the G. And so I'm sorry, Irish listeners, and I'm sorry people who don't know that he pronounces it with a G. He does.
We're spreading the word.
But he plays the Joker. Yeah, I'm interested in it. I like his take. I'm running out of battery power, so I'm going to try to be quick. I'm interested in what they do with him, and I think he'll be used in the sequels, of course, like they have to, I think.
I do think that his interpretation is interesting. I can't say very much like that scene. Like, they did the whole movie in this very kind of gritty noir kind of way. This was the most comic booky scene that they did in the movie. Is the two villains being like, yes, and now we're friends. I can't say that I cared for it.
They share a laugh. I love the laugh.
Yeah, I don't know that I cared for it. I thought it was a little... Paul Dano was being like really throwing a fit at the beginning of the scene because Batman still didn't stop the bombs. He just was helping people out of the destruction, and that made him sad.
Right.
I actually, there's more to it than that, obviously, but I'll leave that to the viewer. And I think maybe we should tear the wall down and do some closing statements.
Yeah, because my phone is at 5% and rapidly failing, so I will just quickly do a closing statement. I give it 4 stars. Okay. I fucking love this movie.
Yeah, it's fucking great, guys. You should go fucking see it. I give it a 5.5. I can't recommend it enough. HBO Max, if you got it, go watch it. Go buy it in the stores. Go to the theater. I might go to the theater. No, I'm not going to go to the theater. I've seen it twice already. But I think that's our show.
Yeah, it is.
And we talked a lot, so I hope
we talked a very long time. I hope it was fun. I hope you guys loved it. I am the Green Traveler from Gorse. Thanks for listening.
And I am the Faceless Leon. Maybe next time we'll do maybe next time we do a deep dive, it won't be a Batman movie, but who knows. Safe travels, and good night. Green and Faceless on the Couch is a proud production of FictionWorks 19. Are you a fan of the show? Feel free to contact us at greenandfacelessfans@gmail.com or visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/greenandfaceless. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, or rate us on Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much for listening.